Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. This video is going to be about the vice captain of the Straw Hats, Zoro. Now, Zoro is I feel like you either hate him or you love him. I love him. I think he's a great character. And I love his dynamic with Sanji. I think that's a great dynamic. I like their relationship. I like his relationship with everyone. And I like that instead of being obsessed with food, he's obsessed with booze. So he likes sake. He hits sake all the time, And he's really, really strong. And he works hard for everything he's done. Because his dream is to become the greatest swordsman. Which I think people have always downplayed that title. Being the greatest swordsman. Because I think Mihawk is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. Now, Zoro was incredibly impressive in Wano. Incredibly impressive. He scarred Kaido, Yes, he broke he blocked probably the strongest attack we've seen in One Piece. And he is Zoro, dude. He's got the whole three-sword style. Santorio. I love that. That's so unique and quirky. And I just like him I like how he's the voice of reason on the Straw Hats. He's okay with everyone disagreeing with him. Even if the whole stuff with Usopp back when Usopp left the crew, I thought that was an incredibly strong showing for Zoro. And how he handled himself and how he was you can't just let people walk all over you. And I love the demon stuff with him. And he always gets animated well. And he will be the world's strongest swordsman. 100% without a doubt. But there's always more to... I wish he would have gotten a better backstory. Because I think his backstory is the worst. One of the worst. And I thought Wano was going to fix that. Nope, not really. I mean, he got a couple flashback things, but it really didn't help much. And I love how he's telling Luffy what to do, and Luffy listens to him. Luffy really respects Zoro's opinion, and he is the first. If Luffy jumps into a fight, Zoro is right after him. These two are, in my opinion, best friends. But most people will be like, "Oh no, he's not. He's not best. His best friend is Luffy's best friend is Usopp and blah." But Luffy has been traveling with Zoro this entire time. Besides the 2-year time skip, Zoro put his differences aside from Mihawk. How much he doesn't his pride. He put his pride aside and bowed his head to the guy that he swore he was going to beat in a fight. Just because his captain, it was what his captain would need from him to, succeed, is Zoro to get better at hockey, which I think he is the second best hockey user on the crew. He's the second strongest, but I also think Sanji's the third, and I think it's disrespectful to put Jinbei there, but people will probably disagree with me there. And I like how Zoro has honor. He really does. And he gives me very strong Rayleigh vibes. But I feel like Rayleigh's more of a mixture between multiple people of the Straw Hats. And Zoro is... His fights are always interesting. Because in the New World, he was never really tested. What is it? It's not Paradise, it's the New World. Because, the rock guy he fucking annihilated, Pika, or whatever, he beat Hody. He was gonna murk Hody in the water. So he's gonna murk a fishman in the water. Just remember that. That's how fucking strong he was. The big bad of the arc, Zoro was gonna beat. In the fucking water. I don't think people give that credit enough. How much, stronger fishmen are in water than humans. And he was going to murk him, dude. And he had no problem handling the best swordsman out of the fucking Fishman. Like, he fucking manhandled that guy. He fought the Rock guy in Dressrosa. I don't think he fought anyone on Punk Hazard. But maybe I'm wrong. His fight with King was interesting because it's like it was the first time he was really tested, but like once he figured out King's little ability, which took him I think a little too long, he annihilated the man. It was actually a draw, to be honest with you, and I do think he'd have an easier time fighting Katakuri than Luffy. But once he figured out that future side, I think he'd have an easier time. 100% without a doubt. And Whole Cake would have been completely different if Zoro was there, not going to lie. Because Luffy wouldn't have had to do all the fighting by himself. Because you got to remember, Luffy only had Nami, Chopper, Carrot, which none of them are going to do anything in a fight. Brook. It's like none of these guys are really fighters, and if he would have had Zoro there, he would have had another combatant on his squad, and it would have probably been different for Luffy, been a little easier for Luffy. But I think Luffy needed the growth, and Zoro is just impressive in general. Like his fight with Killer was really impressive. He murked that man, and that guy was the fourth most impressive dude on Roof Piece. That's for sure. Because Law was more impressive than him, and it was just, he got a power-up that he deserved that made sense, which was Enma, a sword power-up. And I wish we would have learned more about Cursed Blades. Now, there is a dude in the Marines that could beat any sword fighter ever, and all he has to do is touch their sword. It's the Rust guy. 100%. That's a strong counter to Zoro. A strong counter to any swordsman, to be completely honest. And I love his quote that mirrors what Luffy said. He doesn't want to be heroes because heroes share their booze. And he doesn't want to share his booze. You know, that's definitely true. He does not want to do that. And he doesn't want to be considered a hero either. Like, that's not why the Straw Hats are doing what the Straw Hats are doing. They're doing it because they want to. Like that. And I loved on Sabaody, like, when they were about to murk the not Tenryubito, but the Celestial Dragon, and Bonnie, like, stopped him. Because the dude shot the guy for no apparent reason and then was standing in Zoro's way, so Zoro was going to fucking cut his head off. And then Bonnie stopped him. But, like, he was going to murk the guy. Like, the Celestial Dragons need to come down a little peg. And Zoro is one of the guys who could definitely do that to them if push comes to shove. And I think it will. I think it will one day. He's very much... He's going to be the strongest swordsman of all time in the verse. And it's just incredible. When he sees a strong blade, when they see like Ace or whatever, I think that's going to be cool. Like the Ace, which would be the sword from Goldie Roger. I think he might use it. If it's still on Laugh-Tail or Raft-Tail or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And just imagine putting a sword in your mouth and trying to fight with that. Like, that's just fucking insane. With its own standards. Like, that's just fucking gross. And Zoro does it without thinking. Like, that was his... The way Zoro thought as a kid was, the more swords I have, the better. Which he could have done 5 sword style and put 2 in his legs. But, you know... Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.